to you by Codes. Whether it's the weather or just like Colorado Colorworks making money for all your automotive repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for automotive repair. Taco Bell's all white meat crispy chicken nuggets are back, but that doesn't make us a chicken place. I mean, yes, everyone loves them. Like, what? That's why we brought it back along with our signature dipping sauces. But the crispy golden bread is actually tortilla chips, which is very taco place. So we're still a taco place. You think this is a taco place, right? Are we? No, I mean, we're good. It's just nuggets, just crispy chicken nuggets. Only at Taco Bell, the taco place. It's also a chicken place. It's also a taco place. And participating Taco Bell stores for limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for available. This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have. And now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your networking and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaaam.com. KERX Paris Wordsmith. And the fun line countdown is Arkansas football begins in 3 days. Not so excited. The city's looking like a ghost town on a moonlit summer night.
I've said this many times, but we've got a young team. We've had a young team the last couple of years, and the positivity in the community, the support, the encouragement through the ups and downs really puts the wind at our back.
Caruso comes up with a steal. Throws it back and gives us Alexander. The unselfish play. SGA pulls up. The mid-range maestro does it again. Ahead to Holmgren. One stride. Isaiah Joe with the three-pointer.
Right, they're professional, they're high character. Idiots.
Here to accept the Oscar Robertson Trophy on behalf of the Western Conference champion Oklahoma City Thunder is team chairman Clayton.
Lightning strike.
Live from the Bush Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
That's a proper way to intro the show this morning here on a Thursday as Isaiah Joe, Jalen Williams, and the rest of the Oklahoma City Thunder advancing to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2012. Had two former Razorbacks to have a chance to be the 8th and 9th winners of the NBA championship. Can you name the other 7 as we get going here this morning? Some are recent. Think about recent.
Joe Klein was on some teams
That's
with
one.
the Bulls.
Okay. Colton, jump in on this too if you know.
Moses Moody.
Yep. With the Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
Seems like we had some. Wasn't Joe Klein with the Celtics? I don't know if he was with the Celtics at that point.
You got what? I think it was Bulls. Either way, you got it. It's Bulls. 98.
Bulls.
98 Bulls. So you've got 2.
Okay.
Think recent. Think Crazy Eyes.
Oh.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby's 3.
That's right. That's pretty obvious right there.
All right, so we got 3 of them. Who won the championship last year?
Hell, I don't remember.
Celtics. Jay Walsh. That's 4. Didn't play a lot.
Yeah. Say that one might be a little more obscure.
Then we got some more. We got some older heads. Who are the old heads that we haven't listed off yet?
I don't know. Tell me.
Corliss.
Really?
Darrell Walker. 2004 Sixth Man of the Year.
All right.
Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
All right.
Darrell Walker. And Scott Hastings.
Okay. That makes sense.
So 7 Razorbacks have won the NBA championship. Isaiah and Jalen trying to become number 8 and 9 after last night. They just blew them out.
It was boring
last night.
Boring.
You were talking about how you've been kind of engaged with the Western Conference Finals. You haven't been necessarily engaged with the Eastern Conference one. Last night's game was decided at halftime, pretty much.
Oh, I was gonna
maybe the first quarter.
I was going to go to a friend of mine's house and watch the second half, and it was such a blowout at halftime that there was. I mean, what was the point? It's a 30-point game at that point.
You just text him. I
didn't
think
text.
I'm not going to make it over there.
No-showed, ghosted. So, hey, download the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. Hey, when it comes time to spruce up your existing home or even build a brand new one, trust the team of experts at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas to help you choose the right financing option that best fits you and your family. Go to myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com, or drop by any of Farm Credit of Western Arkansas's 25 locations today and get started on building more family memories.
My dad texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. He thought Sidney Moncrief had won one. Sydney's Milwaukee Bucks, I want to say, got to an Eastern Conference Finals one year. I don't believe they ever made in the 80s to the NBA Finals, which is crazy. I mean, you think about Philly, Dr. J, of course, Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics with McHale and Parrish and all that. But, yeah, it'd be cool to get almost to double digits after here in these next couple weeks. Bruce was talking earlier. I looked at the schedule, and it really depends on what Arkansas does here these next few weekends. But there's no games on a Friday or Saturday in OKC. It's all like week and Sunday games, and the games are like 7 o'clock, so it's just going to be hard.
What would you pay to go to get into a finals game? What would you pay? Maybe I'll hold that for the Morning Rush Daily question coming up. But because I know we got a lot of Thunder fans or people that have, kind of like me, don't really have a rooting interest, don't really have a team, but like a couple kids from Arkansas. It's easy, particularly if you live in the River Valley and in Fort Smith, to attach yourself to the Thunder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We'll preview of the Morning Rush Daily question. Hold your answer, but what would you pay? We'll get your calls and text on that coming up in about 30 minutes.
Even Derek said he kind of, because I asked him, I didn't know. I know he's a Washington Nationals fan, but I didn't know his NBA team. He said, living in Fort Smith for a decade, he kind of attached himself to the Thunder. But like you had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, that team, and then you had some lean years.
Yeah.
And then now you're back to hopefully being here for another couple years.
All right, Eastern Conference Finals continue tonight. Pacers and the Knicks. Knicks are a how much favorite on the Bet Saracen app?
I'm going to go like 6.
6? What do you think, Colton?
4.
4.5 is the correct answer. Okay. So you can go to the Bet Saracen app, 4.5. I was looking also here. Well, they still don't have the run line for Arkansas and North Dakota State, but the Hogs are minus 3,000.
Jeez.
If you care, LSU is minus 3,000 as well against UALR in the Trojans. So all of that for postseason baseball and the NBA playoffs. Even hockey is on there as well, as you'd expect. The Dallas Storm and the Edmonton Oilers. Find it all with the Bet Saracen app. So I'll be interested to see. I would think the Thunder would be fairly heavy favorites to win the series against either the Knicks or the Pacers.
I would think so. That's the Pacers scare me a little more than the Knicks do. Knicks are more like appealing for just the casual basketball fan, just with the tradition of that franchise. But I hope it's a good series. Not that I don't want the Thunder to win, but I hope it is a good series. Don't really hope that it's a good game this weekend. I hope Arkansas just shells North Dakota State immediately. It's not a game. You're not worried about it or anything. Got to get a chance to hear from Dave Van Horn later on today around 12 o'clock at 11:25 this morning. Biggest issue, just who's pitching? Is that what fans want to know?
We were talking about this before the show, and, how do you approach it? Maybe we'll talk about that in the Hog Update coming up, but, I guess maybe we get a revelation, or do we still get to be determined or still deciding? I mean, what's the benefit in revealing your hand?
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, a guy that knows not just about Arkansas baseball, but college baseball, SEC baseball, Mike Rooney, D1 baseball, ESPN. He's our opening drive this morning.
We know the atmosphere up on Walker is going to be electric. That's always the case. The Alloy brothers, as you mentioned, Charles Davalon, really have changed the look of this offense. They always pitch. This might be the most complete team in this NCAA tournament.
This is the opening drive.
Mike, that word complete has been used a little bit about this baseball team. We've had Todd Walker on, former LSU Tiger, one of your coworkers at ESPN, and he kind of labeled that as Dave's most complete team since 2018. I know you didn't really have time in the selection show to kind of detail that out and go over why, but you do here. So, Mike, why do you think Arkansas is complete as they've been, and especially heading into this postseason as any team in baseball?
Yeah, I think it's not just the team. It's just like from a program standpoint too. Like the first of all, the you guys know you live it, right? The offense has come under heavy criticism the last few years, and Arkansas has become known as this this lopsided program where they pitch like a big league team, but the offense makes everybody anxious. And I just think in the beginning of the year, when people were still, having PTSD about that, not that I get plenty of predictions wrong, don't get me wrong there, but the almost Hall of Fame level in that regard. But I just, the conversations I was having with people were, you can't look at Arkansas's 2025 lineup and not feel like the personnel are different and upgraded. And that's no offense to past teams, but part of it is, like, Vahiva Aloy is a year older, right? Like, your second year in the league should be way better than your first year in the league. And then Iredale, like, every scout that saw him in the fall was blown away. And, I'm a sucker for the Australian players who have all thrived in college baseball. Helfrich went off to the Cape and went crazy. And, I was pretty skeptical of Davalon. I was wrong about that. So I think part one is the offense. And the offense is not, it can do a lot of different things. Like they can trade power punches with people. They can execute. I also think the pitching depth has really come into play. I think it's a better defensive team probably than they had last year. But I also think that the program just seems really settled right now. We all understand that they've lost in the postseason at home the last 3 years that they've been home, and the Omaha trip was a road show. But I think that's helpful. Like, I think programs get to a point where that stuff doesn't torment you anymore. You get right with it. You get peace with it. So I sense that for Arkansas. Now, this is going to be a very challenging trip to Omaha. I'm sure we'll get into that in a second. But all that said, I love where they sit. I think I'm very optimistic on the Hogs.
Mike Rooney with us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. If I ask you, name me the 2, 3, 4 best top coaches in NCAA baseball, I think Dave Van Horn would come up on most people's list. Best programs in the SEC, Arkansas is going to be in that conversation. Why is it having a great program and having one of the best coaches in the game has not equaled a national championship yet for Dave Van Horn? What's your opinion on that?
I think just bad luck. I know no one wants to hear that, but it's like, it's not like there's a program out there that has won like 6 national titles. It's not like the 90s, where if this was happening to Dave Van Horn in Arkansas in the 90s, we would be saying, okay, why is Arkansas not as good in baseball as LSU, right? Like, you're chasing one program that has some schematic, structural, infrastructure type of things that are, that have caused it to separate from the rest of the sport. We've all talked through and lived through and therapied through the 2018 deal, but
some still are
one play. right. It's one play, and like sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't. Like, I think about Kevin O'Sullivan. Like, the two active coaches that have been to the most super regionals or have won the most super regionals are Kevin O'Sullivan and Dave Van Horn, and it's unbelievable how many their winning percentage in super regionals is outrageous. Kevin O'Sullivan's got one title, right? Like, it's the difference between one title and 0 titles. There's not like miles and miles of road there. And if you go back and look in Florida's national title, in game 2 when Sully decides to pitch Jackson Kowar in relief, like all chips in the middle of the table, and if they lose that game, he's got no starting pitching for game 3. Like, that could have gone differently, right? Yeah. So I just think, I do think, the one thing I do think, and this is not me pointing a finger at anybody, this is just something a program has to process, because they didn't win the title and time has gone on. I do think the players feel that pressure, and it takes the right group of players to come in and not deal with that. And I do think, like, when I think of, that when I look at Brett Iredale and the way he carries himself, and I think about the Aloy brothers and the way they carry themselves, they do feel less vulnerable to those types of pressures. I think about South Carolina guys, that 2010 to 2012 era. There was a lot of pressure around that program in that era. They were going through some things that are somewhat similar, and it took a Michael Roth and a Christian Walker, who were just really cool customers, to just kind of carry that team through the pressure, because it, like, their teammates looked at it like, hey, it doesn't bother them, so why should it bother me? So anyway, I think I think it's just there's a part of it. You have to be good to win a national title. You have to be healthy to win a national title, and it does require a couple bounces going your way.
Yeah, it's almost like in golf where they say, Ricky Fowler, who's the best player in the world to never win a major. It's kind of like the same category for college baseball. Arkansas is the best program. Dave Van Horn's the best coach to never win the Natty. That's kind of what the same feel I get with it.
Agreed. And it was Phil Mickelson when many years ago. And next thing you know, he's won a handful of them. And so I saw a stat recently that where I think Arkansas has been a top 8 national seed 6 of the last 7 years, and I think we don't, because we get so obsessed with the postseason, myself included. We don't take enough time to think back and say, holy heck, like Arkansas was one of the top 8 teams in the country out of 300 plus teams in 6 of the last 7 seasons. That is a remarkable run of consistent play. And, the postseason is a mini tournament. You've got to win 10 highly pressurized games in a very short span of time. A million things can go a million different ways. But the consistency of the Arkansas program is second to none.
Well, Mike, speaking of consistency, SEC has won, I think, every national title since 2019, no season in 2020. SEC or the field this year, given the choice?
I think you have to take the SEC until further notice, right? Like I would say that I'm interested to see it play out this year because I do think leagues like the ACC, like the old rising tide lifts all boats. Like the ACC is not good with being the bridesmaid all the time in baseball, and those programs and those schools are working at it. The problem is, so is the SEC, right? Like you're sprinting trying to catch someone else who is checks notes sprinting, right? It's like the SEC is not sitting there resting on their laurels. So I think the one thing that's interesting about the SEC this year is we don't have a super team that we know about. Now maybe it is Arkansas. But I like Arkansas didn't have a regular season that was like as loud as Tennessee last year, or like the LSU team 2 years ago, where they're sitting there with Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz on the same college team. Like it almost still feels, it doesn't even feel real. And then they weren't even the number 1 team; it was Wake Forest. And so I wouldn't even put this Arkansas's regular season as the same as the 2021 Arkansas regular season, where that was a super team. So I think that makes it interesting. I do think, as my good friend Chris Burke pointed out, it's interesting that of the 8 SEC hosts, 6 of them are all on the right side of the bracket. So, that does lend itself to maybe a little bit of a mix in the College World Series finals. Because that's the thing, guys, right now is we haven't, as it's currently constructed, we haven't even had a non-SEC team, forget winning the thing. We haven't had a non-SEC team in the CWS finals since Michigan in 2019. Like the league has got the finals blockaded off for the rest of college baseball. So, until further notice, give me the SEC.
All right, so you mentioned Burke. I know you're with Kyle Peterson and one of your coworkers, Max Schick, this past Monday, of course, doing the selection show. Was the cookout afterwards? Was it before? Like, how'd you go about doing it on Memorial Day weekend when you're having to work, Mike?
Yeah, it's I think for all of us, it's like Christmas Day. I think, those guys were players. I was a player and a coach, and I can only speak for myself. Maybe that's the safer play. I've been on every part of the selection show. I've been player out, player in. I've been coach, young single coach, we missed. I've been young single coach, we're a host. I've been now married, and the pressure of your coaching career ramps up. It doesn't just affect you as a single guy and your beer money, right? It now affects you and your wife. My wife Jenny and I have sat through those things where, you're a host, you're not a host, you're a top 8, you're not a top 8, et cetera, et cetera. So I think we all appreciate the gravity of the day, but it's super fun. Those guys are awesome. We do celebrate afterwards, but we're all running to the airport too, right? Like after when I hang up with you guys, I'm running back to the airport so I can go to Bristol for Squeeze Play. So I think, I know I can speak for the group when I say we all feel super blessed to get to do this. It's it's the funnest time of the year. It's the most fun, I suppose. And it's just a blast. It's an absolute blast.
You know where Mike's based out of, right, Tommy? Scottsdale. So I'm
well, technically Prescott, Arizona, but yes, we're Scottsdale adjacent.
I'm guessing no golf, no golf here in the next few weeks. We've had to table it for the time being.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and it is getting to the time of year out here where you're if you're playing golf, you're playing at 5:12 a.m.
Yeah.
It's a little toasty out here.
Yeah, the good deals are at noon.
Right.
When it's like 90-something degrees. Mike, we got about 30 seconds.
90's a cool way.
100-something. We'll let you go with this. I know there's been speculation what Dave Van Horn's going to do with the pitching rotation this weekend. We were kind of talking about before you came on. If you're him, do you pitch Root on Friday or do you leave him for Saturday?
I think they look at the matchups. I'm a believer there's no points for second place in regionals. Nobody cares if you won 0-2, 1-2, or 2-2. You win it or you don't win it. And so I always think that the coaches should have the courage to set your rotation with no fear of losing. Whatever you think gives you the best matchups to win the thing, do that and sell your team on it. Because again, we've all finished second in regionals. Nobody cares. You win this thing or you do not win this thing.
Mike, good stuff this morning. Hopefully there's a good weekend ahead at the Fayetteville Regional. Might get to see you in Omaha here in a few weeks. Thanks for your time.
All right. Be good, guys. See ya.
That again is Mike Rooney, college baseball analyst. You can watch him on ESPN. You can read him on D1 Baseball as well. Had a chance to meet him a few years back in Omaha. Seems like a cool dude.
Yep, sure does. Knows the stuff, too. That's the opening drive. It's brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. 2 locations, one in Sallisaw, Oklahoma. Of course, the original home base in Fort Smith. 479-769-1505 is the number. Family law, car accidents, slip and fall cases, personal injury. Jackie's got over 13 years of experience to help you navigate it and make sure that the insurance companies and their staff of attorneys don't have the edge on you. Have proper representation. Jackie can do that for you. And they understand big retainer checks aren't something you just got laying around to write a $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 check to get started. That's why they offer understandable, easy to comprehend flat fees, low monthly payments, and low down payments as well. 479-769-1505 or go to mocklegalsolutions.com.
Biggest thing that stood out to me in the 15 minutes he just spent with us, the fact that the SEC has not just won every championship since 2019, but a battle. Now, I know Oklahoma technically not an SEC team 3 years ago when Ole Miss was there with them, but that's crazy that the 2 competing teams in the finals dating all the way back to 2021, you got to go all the way back to 2019 before it wasn't 2 SEC teams.
Oh, baseball is clearly the most dominant sport I think the SEC competes in, and there's several you could. People say football quickly, and it has been in the past. But I think baseball's always kind of reigned supreme. Hey, if you need something sweet to satisfy that sweet tooth, Andy's Frozen Custards in Conway, Fort Smith, and North Little Rock has the Pick 6. Mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors and download the Andy's app to your Apple App Store or Google Play Store from there to your phone and order ahead. That's Andy's Frozen Custards. Walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve you.
Exclusive coverage at the Fayetteville Regional, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Arvest Bank, and Shelter Insurance agent Chris Dooley.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better series than what we got right here.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Mega Millions now has better odds, bigger prizes, and the highest starting jackpot in America. Top prizes start at $50 million and increase rapidly until someone wins. What else is new? How about no more break-even prizes? Win anywhere from 2 to 10 times your bet. And the multiplier? It's no longer an add-on. Mega Millions is always $5 per play, bells and whistles included. Play today in stores or on the go. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Rock music invades the Creekside Amp in Harrison, Arkansas on Friday, July 25th with Saving Able. Tickets go on sale Friday, May 30th at creeksideamp.com. Started only $10. Saving Able with special guest Royal Lynn, along with Heavy Record.
Saving able with Royal Inn, live at the Creekside Amp in Harrison. It's Friday, July 25th. Get tickets at creeksideamp.com.
Yes, anything else before I jump on a plane and get home?
This is the Morning Rush.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at precisiondoornwa.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Forsgren is hiring immediately. Forsgren Incorporated, a heritage company and premier employer, is now hiring equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Have experience in any of these areas? Apply now at goforsgren.com. Don't delay. Forsgren is hiring now at goforsgren.com. Don't miss your opportunity to join the Forsgren legacy. Forsgren has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
April showers bring May flowers, which brings, June heat. Remember the June heat with the air you can wear? Mike Blaylock with Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning. We offer the highest efficiency home comfort system on the market today with the York Affinity Series. So for all your high efficiency heating and cooling needs, plumbing and drain cleaning, get a red truck rolling your way today. That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning in York. Give us a call at 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
107 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, Woo Big Suey.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Andrew Benintendi steps in a key spot. Rips this into right center field, and the White Sox are going to strike first. And the White Sox take a 2-0 lead. Benintendi rips that one, a fair ball down the right field line. Vargas, he is hustling. He's going to get waved in. Soto's relay throw. Alonso double clutches. That allows the run to score and Benintendi to get to third. Wait a minute. Andrew Benintendi, he has gone yard. A solo home run here in this 8th inning as the White Sox offense continues to pour it on. 6th home run of the season for Benintendi.
Andrew Benintendi had himself a day yesterday.
Yeah.
3 hits. White Sox end up actually getting to win. Any guess to what the White Sox record are?
It's not good.
18-38.
Yeah.
I wanted.
And that's better than it was last year. I'm pretty sure.
I wanted to play that clip for a few reasons. One, you got a former Razorback that has cleared the 100 home run mark. He did that a few weeks ago, whatever it was. So I'm happy for him. 2, Vivo Loy's going for the Golden Spikes. Maybe it's some good juju. And 3, my aunt was at a Cubs White Sox game a couple of weeks ago in Wrigley, and you know the the new Pope's American. He's a White Sox fan. You had all these White Sox fans that were in the outfield that were dressed up as Pope costumes.
There you go.
Which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, Andrew Benintendi with a really good night, 3 hits, including a bomb yesterday.
I'm going to see the Red Sox and Angels on Monday night at Fenway. Any Razorback connections there I'm not aware of? Benintendi obviously used to be with the Red Sox, but I
don't think so.
That's what got me to thinking about that.
Colton, am I missing one?
I don't think so.
Nobody that's in the bigs.
I was going. There's probably 1 or 2 guys in the in organizations. I've obviously got Hagen that's in the not the Black Sox. Geez, the White Sox organization. They've been the Black Sox before, but yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Fenway's a bucket list. Fenway's one of those places.
Never been there.
I've never been to Boston. Fenway's up there. Cross Wiggly-Off. I went to the old Busch Stadium, and I've been to the new one, but the old Busch one was cool. So that'll be.
I've got a business meeting that begins in Portland, Maine, on Tuesday, so I'm going to go a day early and check out Fenway. So, thanks to our buddy Dave O'Brien.
Shout out Dave.
Thank you, Dave, for the tickets.
Shout out Dave O'Brien. Adu Thero made the announcement, but staying in the NBA draft.
Away left side, Jefferson flashing for a steal. Thero to the other end with a left hand.
I'm a little sad, but I'm happy for him moving on to his what he's wanting to do next in life, which is play for the NBA. Hoping he gets drafted early, 2nd round, maybe kind of like in the Jalen Williams mold last year. You remember the action. We're going to have Coach Burnett on next week as Oklahoma City is going to find out their opponent maybe tonight.
He was at the game last night.
He was. I was texting him this morning. I know I got a text back from also Derek Joe. I know he's hyped up. Everyone's hyped up that you got 2 Hawks, 2 Norton Side Grizzlies that are in the NBA finals. But where was I going with that? When Jalen, so back in the draft 2 years ago, when our Jalen Williams, J. Will got drafted, they drafted J. Dub before the Jalen Williams from Santa Clara, and so everyone was freaking out because he gets drafted first round. It's like, and Jalen had to go, no, that's not me. But then he was drafted later on in the
Jaylin for our Jalen, Jalen for the other Jalen.
Mm-hmm. So Oklahoma City again moving on.
Both are pretty good.
124-94 last night in the Western Conference Game 5. Ant and company still licking their wounds after just getting housed by the Thunder last night. You were talking about you were planning on watching the game. It wasn't the game though.
Well, I mean, first half watched it, but yeah, I mean, wasn't much entertainment there. I mean, I kept up, but I mean, wasn't no sense in being engrossed in that. I did watch it all the way in until they handed out the trophy and all that stuff. So it was fun. I'm sure it was great to be in that building.
Mm-hmm. Just like with that moment you were talking about.
Here to accept the Oscar Robertson Trophy on behalf of the Western Conference champion Oklahoma City Thunder is team chairman Clay Bennett.
Team chairman Clay Bennett.
I always think that's one of the coolest moments. I still remember when Arkansas won the Cotton Bowl against K-State back in 20. It was after the 2011 season. It would have been in 2012. I still remember Gus Johnson on that call, and just like those type of moments are so cool. And I realize a national championship is obviously more revered and more celebrated than a conference championship like the Thunder got last night. But I just those end of game moments to me are really special.
Well, I mean, I thought it'd been really cool as I was watching that if they didn't really do much. Just went up, got the trophy, and then didn't have a lot of celebration.
Oh,
I mean, that's what you should do, right?
They're going for the real theme, baby.
Right. I mean, no sense in spending a lot of energy. I mean, that's like celebrating winning your regional or your super regional next week. That's not what we're really here for, you know.
They'll pile
They'll
on to go to Omaha.
to go to Omaha.
But
I get it. And hey, listen, that's the goal all year is to get there. But that's really not the trophy you're after. So kind of act like it.
All right, that's your Hog Update. It's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, we've got our Morning Rush Daily question coming up. A couple hog notes I want to get into as well, including the naming rights to the football stadium.
Hey, have you applied for your homestead tax credit? If you're in Sebastian County, call Zach Johnson's office. He's the assessor, 479-784-1516, and find out if you have everything in proper order for your homestead tax credit, which could give you a tax break on your 2024 taxes up to $425. So don't miss out on this. Don't let the money go to waste. Give a call right now, 784-1516, and find out if you're signed up properly for the homestead tax credit. You can also go online to SebastianCountyAR.gov. That's SebastianCountyAR.gov, 784-1516 for your homestead tax credit.
All right, when we come back, that Morning Rush Daily question is next.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Mega Millions now has better odds, bigger prizes, and the highest starting jackpot in America. Top prizes start at $50 million and increase rapidly until someone wins. What else is new? How about no more break-even prizes? Win anywhere from 2 to 10 times your bet. And the multiplier? It's no longer an add-on. Mega Millions is always $5 per play, bells and whistles included. Play today in stores or on the go. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Rock music invades the Creekside Amp in Harrison, Arkansas on Friday, July 25th with Saving Able. Tickets go on sale Friday, May 30th at creeksideamp.com. Start at only $10. Saving Able with special guest Royal Lynn, along with Heavy Wrecker. Saving Able with Royal Lynn, live at the Creekside Amp in Harrison. Friday, July 25th. Get tickets at creeksideamp.com.
This is the Morning Rush.
As you kids would say, we're not even mid. You like that? That make me sound cool? Make me sound young?
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hey, Todd Richardson from the Morning Rush, and I want to tell you what Linda, Joe, and their team are doing at Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant. Daily lunch specials come with a side and a roll, Monday through Friday from 11 to 3, just $9.99 each. Mondays is Mimi's Meatloaf. Tuesday is 3 chicken tenders. Wednesday is chicken fried steak. Thursday, Garrison Swiss chicken. And Friday, a Whippoorwill burger. 509 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Newmeyer's Whippoorwill Restaurant. Timeless Southern home cooking.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
A lot of life can happen between sips of Dasani. You know, the life moments, big and small, that are worth getting thirsty for. Like organizing a family movie night under the stars. Or hearing an old favorite song and having an impromptu dance party. Or finding a new dinner recipe that the whole family loves. The crisp, clean taste of Dasani was made for all of life's thirst-worthy moments. Dasani, because life happens between sips.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087, or online at servicemasterpc.com.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
Kind of teased the question earlier, so now's the time for your responses here on the Cart Path Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Thunder are in the final, or in the NBA Finals. What would you pay? What would be your top dollar for? I mean, just get in the door. Upper deck, lower deck corner. I bet you can't get those. But what? How much would you go? 200, 300. What would it take? How much would you be willing to pay to go to a finals game? Because I bet most of our audience has never been to an NBA Finals game.
I think I'd if it was Game 5 or Game 7 in OKC with the chance for them to close it out, I would probably spend $500. I wouldn't spend that.
400 was my number,
but I wouldn't spend 400 for one or two because they have no chance to win. I want to be if I'm going to be in the building for an excessive amount of money, I want to watch them win the whole thing. I want to watch.
So I don't care about that part. So I would take game 1 or 2.
Okay.
Give me a bargain on it, and just say I was there for an NBA Finals game. I'd do that today.
And go with Bruce. Bruce sounds like he's going.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? It's not really on my bucket list, but when it's 3 hours away, so
cross it off. Next Thursday, so a week from today, 7:30 will be the first game. Then they'll have the next game on Sunday. The 3 games. I'm not a big fan of how they space it out. 3 games compared to how they usually do it. 2.
So when's it start?
Next Thursday, a week from today.
Okay. All right, so you can call or text your thoughts on this. Lewis Automotive Group hotline is open. Dan and Alma says, good seat, he'd pay $500 to $800. I mean, just get me in the building somewhere. I mean, yeah, we all want a better seat, but yeah, I'm with you, Dan. If it was a good seat, I'd pay $5 to $8. Darren and Alma says I would spend $50. Don't really care about the NBA. And the answer, according to JP, depends on if Tommy Kraft would let me expense it. Well,
as a work event.
Yeah, it's a work event. How could I? Yeah, it does seem like they're doing research for the show.
Yeah, you've got again. It's next Thursday, next Sunday, and then the 16th, which I believe, if I remember right, is a Wednesday. which is Game 5, and then Game 7 is the 22nd, which is, I think, lines up in the College World Series finals as well. I was looking at this because it depends on what Arkansas does. Like, if Arkansas, for whatever reason, gets knocked out one of these next 2 weekends, I'm more apt to go to this thing. But if they're still involved in postseason, obviously going to stay
I
with
probably won't go because one of the, I know it's not a What's Your Beef Wednesday. That was yesterday, but the fees that you have to pay on SeatGeek or Ticketmaster or any of those places, Razor Gator, man, it just
Razor Gator. I haven't heard of that one.
You see,
you heard of that one, Colton?
Yeah, it's out there, or used to be. Maybe it's gotten. But you go on there and it's a $200 seat, and then by the time you get done paying them, it's a $325 seat. That just irritates me.
I saw. I don't know if this got
handling
passed
fee. To what? Email me the ticket?
I think there's a bill out there, Tommy, that they're trying to put in place. I don't know if this is a state thing or a federal thing, that the ticket sites are being forced. Like it's like you have to show up front what it actually costs. Because
there's always a button you can click on to get all in fees. I always look at it that way.
You just do it that way.
Yeah.
It is because you're like, oh man, this is only $150, and then boom, 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 boom,
yep.
$280 for what? And you're just like, what?
And they email you the ticket, but they charge you a handling fee. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's annoying. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Number 1 indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas, coming up there on their 1-year anniversary, June 12th through the 14th. They've got a bunch of things going on. College World Series party, Cart Pass Social after dark. Of course, leading up to that, I know we've had some weather lately. We can always play inside at Cart Pass Social, one of over 1,000 different golf courses. Quail Hollow, Augusta National, they've got them all. They've got the blessings there at Cart Pass Social. Go to cartpasssocial.com. It's always BYOB at Cart Pass Social. 122 Grant Place, located in Lowell, across from Atwoods. We didn't get a chance to ask Mike this. I was going to ask him if there was anything baseball-wise. Like the spring meetings, it's, 80% football, 15% basketball. Have you seen one baseball discussion?
I don't know who else gets to go. I mean, obviously the head football and head basketball coaches are down there. Baseball never gets to go. Are the other spring sport coaches, do they meet? Do the volleyball coaches meet? I've not been to one of these.
I'm trying to save money, Tommy, so they don't want to bring
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how expansive this gets, but but generally baseball isn't part of the discussion because they're never there.
Well, one of the discussions that is being
and
had,
softball wouldn't be either because they're in their postseason.
Yeah. One of the discussions that is being had is about the 8-game SEC schedule, the 9-game SEC schedule, the Big Ten Alliance. Brian Kelly is vocal. Listen to this. Brian Kelly wants 9-game SEC schedule and a Big Ten game, and he's kind of discussed it a little bit.
We have the depth in this league, top to bottom, and that we are the premier league in the country.
But you could do that in the playoffs.
You can do it in the playoffs too, absolutely, no doubt. But you can also show yourself during the regular season in this opportunity.
See, what I took away from year one with just 8 games with the additions of Texas and Oklahoma, ask Alabama, which Oklahoma was a bottom feeder in this league or near the bottom this year, and they got obliterated in Norman. If you had one more SEC game in there, you surely won't have any undefeated teams. Tommy, you might not have any one-loss teams in the league. And based on that,
but if you're guaranteed seats at the table in the playoff,
and then you might go and do it.
I've always thought we were way too in love with undefeated as sports fans, sports media. Always been too in love with undefeated.
But here's the other. I think the other layer of this, and we're only in 1 year of this, and I know Michigan won it 2 years ago, Ohio State won it last year, and they had difficulty. They have tough games. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that all Big Ten games are easy, but I mean, going through that schedule and then going to the playoff versus what the SEC teams have to do and going to the playoff is different. And I think with Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, I don't know if USC is ever going to get back to that point. I don't think Penn State, based on their track record as a program, you got to go all the way back to Joe Paul since they actually won one. I don't know if you can get them over the jump yet, but I think they're going to benefit from not playing a schedule. And so Kelly not only wants to play 9 games, he wants to play an additional Big Ten game.
Well,
and that's suicide to me.
But what were we talking about with the expansion of 9 games, what it meant to an SEC school, another 4 or 5 million, right? That was the figure. Well, we're talking about currently about a $24-ish million gap with revenue sharing and additional scholarships. Well, that covers 20% of it if you go there. So as ADs try to piece the revenue puzzle together, well, here's a place we can go get what feels like low-hanging fruit for $5 million more a year.
Okay.
All right. Now, revenue share probably goes up a fraction, but now we've closed that gap to 20. Well, can we cut cost, 10 and raise 10 more? Now we're kind of back to par. So I think the ninth game becomes more attractive in the SEC as they're trying to figure out how to stitch up this $25 million gap.
So let me pose this, Colton. You can jump in here. Audience, Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Is it more appealing to you as a fan to have 9-game SEC schedule or an 8-game plus a Big Ten opponent? What is more attractive to you as a fan?
I like the Big Ten because if you do the matchup where it's sort of even to where you're kind of an even par team with where you are from the year before, something like that, I like our chances better, to be honest with you. There's a lot more opportunity for us to beat a Big Ten team and go see somewhere. That's right.
You get to go see something as a fan, go on a road trip that you probably is truly a once-in-a-lifetime deal. Now, the downside to doing this is now you're bringing Big Ten teams on a regular basis into the southern part of the United States, and it enhances their recruiting footprint. Flip side of that's true as well. But are you letting the fox in the hen house a little bit, having Ohio State or Michigan every other year playing a game in the Deep South?
Is that as important?
Is that smart?
Because people got mad. I remember when Harbaugh was in those satellite camps, and all the SEC coaches got ticked off.
Which was a bunch to do about nothing. But now, at the same time, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, Arkansas are all going to go north as well.
Yeah.
But, Arkansas is not going to get sent to the big house probably very often, or the horseshoe. You're going to end up at Indiana, which is a pretty good program right now. You're going to end up,
And it doesn't really mess it because when you schedule non-conference games, unless it's like a lesser opponent, you do one there, one here, one there, one there, one here. So it would be a situation where you go one there, one here, kind of like the ACC SEC challenge. I would think in my thought, in my
they're going to the home and road will be even. Yeah.
Okay.
But hang on. The Big Ten has 18 teams, right?
Yeah. So
what do you do about that?
Well, the bottom two SEC teams just it's kind of like with the ACC and SEC.
Then there's 14.
Everyone in the SEC would play. They have 18. We have 16. So.
Well, I'm saying it's like the ACC and the SEC in basketball.
That's where I think that you take one of their protected rivalries within the Big Ten that week and you play that game. So a Purdue, Indiana, something like that. One of those old
they play each
bucket
other.
games, something like that. Something that's not quite as important.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just listening to Brian
I
Kelly
would rather
talk
play
about
a Big Ten team.
I didn't hear. I read some stuff. I think Sam Pittman was discussing it. Read some of his comments in Whole Hog Sports. Here's another question. So let's say I said, Tommy, I could snap my fingers. I would take Memphis and Notre Dame off the table this year. Throw in 2 cupcakes instead. You got 4 non-conference dubs.
No.
You wouldn't take it?
No.
If it propped you up where you won 3 or 4 SEC games and you're airing for the...
But, I mean, it's artificial. Doesn't mean your
like
program's
Ole Miss,
any better.
But Ole Miss and Missouri, I think, have been helped by that. Their laughable non-conference schedule these last couple years.
Still got to go win SEC games that matter.
And maybe that's hurt them.
You could put lipstick on the pig, no pun intended. But at the end of the day, you better go beat some quality teams. They beat one last year with Tennessee. I mean, you better go win some games of consequence. That's the bottom line.
You got them on the schedule.
Well, you can't beat them unless you play them, man.
That's the good thing about it.
But I want to be entertained as a fan. How many people bought season tickets this year because Notre Dame's on the schedule?
Probably cheaper.
I ain't taking that
it's
away
probably
from them.
cheaper to do that than buy a single game.
Yeah. Hey, if you're coming up for the weekend for baseball, you need a place to stay. The Inn at the Mills got some rooms for this weekend. 479-443-1800. Oversized suites, great breakfast to start the day. Convenient location just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. That is the Inn at the Mill. We'll have all the coverage throughout the weekend as we roll on with our coverage of the NCAA Regional Tournament presented by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley. You can go to shelterinsurance.com and Email us, cdooley@shelterinsurance.com. By Arvest Bank, since 1961, taking care of their customers right here at home. Arvest Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by the Stadium Shop, we'll be there tomorrow morning from 9 to 11 at the Stadium Shop. Stop in to see Robert Mann and his family. Shop on Razorback.com.
All right, when we come back, Tom Murphy, Kevin Rogers, hold on. I know you've got a thought on this. All that is next.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home or office now and pay over time. Free quotes, custom designs, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanAR.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
Mega Millions now has better odds, bigger prizes, and the highest starting jackpot in America. Top prizes start at $50 million and increase rapidly until someone wins. What else is new? How about no more break-even prizes? Win anywhere from 2 to 10 times your bet. And the multiplier? It's no longer an add-on. Mega Millions is always $5 per play, bells and whistles included. Play today in stores or on the go. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Rock music invades the Creekside Amp in Harrison, Arkansas on Friday, July 25th with Saving Able. Tickets go on sale Friday, May 30th at creeksideamp.com. Started only $10. Saving Able with special guest Royal Lynn, along with Heavy Record. Saving Able with Royal Lynn, live at the Creekside Amp in Harrison. It's Friday, July 25th. Get tickets at creeksideamp.com.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6 inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy. I'm ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly sunny sky, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be in the mid-70s north, low 80s south. Scattered showers and a few scattered thunderstorms tonight, and overnight low will drop down in the mid to upper 50s. And Friday, we're back to sunshine, mid to upper 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 93 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light. Please drink responsibly.
3:30 in the morning, not a soul in sight. The city's looking like a ghost town on a moonlit summer night.
I've said this many times, but we've got a young team. We've had a young team the last couple of years, and the positivity in the community, the support, the encouragement through the ups and downs really puts the wind at our back.
Caruso comes up with a steal. Throws it back and gives us Alexander. The unselfish play. SGA pulls up. The mid-range maestro does it again. Ahead to Holmgren. One stride. Isaiah Joe with the three-pointer.
Right, they're professional. They're high character.
Idiots. Here to accept the Oscar Robertson Trophy on behalf of the Western Conference champion Oklahoma City Thunder is team chairman Clayton.
Thunder and the lightning strike.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
And a happy Thursday to all of you here on the Morning Rush as the Oklahoma City Thunder advanced last night, blowing out the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 5, advancing to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2012. Two former Razorbacks, two former Northside Grizzlies, Isaiah Joe, Jalen Williams, have an opportunity to become number 8 and 9 on the list of former Razorbacks that have won the NBA championship. Starting next Thursday, we'll see if they can get closer to that feat, Tommy.
Hey, if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, maybe date night at Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith would fit the bill. You'll find custom cocktails there that you won't find anywhere else, unique wines, unique, hard-to-find bourbons, and they have got a long row of taps behind the bar that you can find all kinds of specialty and craft beers that aren't available elsewhere. Plus, they got the biggest screen in Fort Smith, so if the Hogs are playing Saturday night, I'm sure that Scott and the team will have it up there for you to watch as well. So you can check all of that out at Uncorked. Reservations available, uncorkthefort.com. That's uncorkthefort.com. Or stop in and have an after-work drink, or sit on the patio and enjoy a great Friday or Saturday night at Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's in Fort Smith. A lot of things going on in Northwest Arkansas this weekend. Obviously, the baseball regional. The other thing that is going on is the Bentonville Barbecue Festival. Man, that's going to be a lot of fun. The first ever barbecue festival in Bentonville. It's going to be Saturday, Ty, at the Momentary. You're invited to the smokiest, sauciest Saturday of the summer, 15 top teams from all over the region. Texas, South Carolina, Kansas City, Georgia, Chicago, all going to be there. Kids 10 and under get in for free as well. Get your tickets and more details at BentonvilleBarbecueFestival.com. It'd be good, just roll up there and eat some burnt ends or something.
Before we talk to Tom, let's talk to Kevin. He's in Rogers here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. If you missed our last conversation, Brian Kelly is pushing for 9 SEC games and a Big Ten opponent. Kevin, your thoughts on what Kelly's pushing and maybe what you'd like to see shake out with the SEC scheduling in football?
Well, I've always thought, even when he was at Cincinnati, he's a moron. But that's nothing new there. I mean, yeah, Anyway, well, here's the thing. I don't know how, it would be a home and home, obviously. I don't know how many Southerns, everybody likes to play in the warm weather. That's not a big problem. I don't know if the Florida or Texas or Georgia, even Alabama, or even us, other than Mizzou, who loves crappy weather, would want to go up to Michigan or Ohio State or Indiana or Northwestern and play in snow and crap and 30-degree weather.
They're not going to play in November.
This would be in August or September, like any other non-conference game. This would be early on.
Okay. Well, Tommy may be right. Do you want them to come down? I mean, into the recruiting base? That could be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of
a team from up north, though, that has to come to the Deep South in early September. That would be heat like they've not seen before. So, I mean, that would be a home field advantage for a lot of teams in the South. But, I mean, there's some upside to this as well. But, you would be sending some of your best teams up north to, there's good players up there too. But I think it would be entertaining for the fans. That's why I'm in favor of it.
Yeah, it would probably be good, especially, definitely would help your, they're getting better teams up there. I mean, they are in football. It's not just, 2 or 3 now. I mean, I think it would be good. I probably agree. I mean, I'm never going to agree with what he says. I'll agree with what Tommy and Ty says. I'm okay with that. But I'm not going to agree with what LSU or, a guy from Cincinnati is going to,
Kevin,
say.
What's
Hey, I got to quit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well,
go ahead. Go ahead.
So Brian Kelly, it's interesting to me. LSU, I guess in year one, they beat Alabama, and I think that year they go to the SEC championship game. They've been kind of that like middling 9-win team, which again I would do very unethical things for Arkansas to be a 9 or 10-win football team. So just putting that on the table. That being said, like I don't know why he is pushing for this when he has shown in the first 3 years, and maybe it's to come, that they're going to struggle against SEC competition at times. Like they haven't gotten over that hump yet, and that's not to say you can't win a national championship.
Well, I'm going to say this, and I got a question about the regional. I don't know that he'll be there in 2 to 3 years, to be honest with you. I mean, LSU will only put up with so much. I mean, can you say that in the next 3 years, if he doesn't win an SEC title, I mean, and doesn't make the college football playoff at least 2 out of the next 3 years, will he still be the head coach? I mean, I don't know.
I tend to agree with you. I think that there would be a possibility of them parting ways somehow. Because hey, about the regional, surely tell me we're not going to have the 3rd year in a row where a Big 12 team wins the Fayetteville Regional. A lot of people aren't looking at that. Everybody's talking about RPI, and I talked to Phil and Matt about this. Yeah, this team isn't the TCU team that we had to deal with a few years ago, but when you look at scheduling and their RPI, they're very similar, and they're hot right now. They've won like 6 out of the last 7 of the last 8. So we better be ready to play. I mean, we've talked about our up and down over the last month and a half a little bit when I've called before. Just want to get your take on that, Ty and Tommy, and have a great weekend. Between Kansas and TCU, I know that you have some bad memories of some Big 12 opponents here in the last few years. I think one of the you were talking about their schedule. So West Virginia, if I remember correctly, won the national title, and I just wanted to double check on this. Kansas swept West Virginia to close out the season in Morgantown. And again, is West Virginia the same program as LSU, Vanderbilt? No, but that was still the best team in the Big 12. So to your point, they are hot right now, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, as the bats don't go cold, I think Arkansas wins this regional, but we've said that the last couple of years as well. So, all right, Tom Murphy coming up in just a second, brought to you by Grit Garage Door. If you open your garage door this morning or maybe over the weekend is creaking, sounds off track. It sounds like it needs maintenance or service, or maybe it's time for an entire new garage door. Our friends at Grit Garage Doors can take care of that for you. They are family owned, family operated, and they don't operate off commission either. So they're not trying to upsell you, not trying to get you talked into something bigger and than what you need. Just fair prices with exceptional value. Grit Garage Door provides a hands-on experience with integrity and service with Grit. No job's too big or small. Custom doors, your dream, they can make it happen with Grit Garage Door. Find them on Facebook and online. That's Grit Garage Doors in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas.
Old this guy is about to join us. But it is Tom Murphy's birthday, and the reason that we know that is because, Tom, one of your high school teammates at Smackover High School, Mr. Brian Wilson, called and wanted to wish you a happy birthday. So how old are we today, Mr. Murphy?
Wow, man. That's pretty cool of Brian. He was a grade below me and played quarterback. And his cousin was the quarterback of the team the year before. So that's how tight-knit we were at Smackover. And I'm going to be like a woman. I'm not going to tell you my age. I'm just old. I'm an old man.
What, Tom, what did you play?
44 again.
What did you play in high school? I did the flag football thing with the media a couple years back. And you were one of the standouts. What did you play everywhere in high school?
Well, I was a running back in junior high, and then I got up to senior high, and we had really good running backs. We had an all-state guy named Greg Bussell. But I made my mark at linebacker. Me and Greg Bussell were linebackers in a 50 defense, and our D lineman did a great job of tying up blockers, and Greg and I made a bunch of tackles. So, and then my senior year, they moved me to cornerback for part of the year, and then late in the season for our playoff push, I went back to linebacker. So, mostly defense. I was also the league punt returner. So
let's go.
Smackover was a small school, as you can imagine.
Played a lot of different positions. Tom, of course, now writes for Whole Hog Sports in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, covering the Razorbacks. Tom, before we jump into the Fayetteville Regional, which starts tomorrow, one of the things you've probably been paying to additionally is this conversation in the SEC spring meetings. Brian Kelly is pushing for a 9-game SEC schedule and a Big Ten opponent with that Big Ten alliance. What do you think is going to ultimately shake out with the scheduling and the possibility of the partnership with the Big Ten and the Southeastern Conference in football moving forward?
You know, that's a great question. And I saw that clip, and I'm thinking, good gosh, a mandatory 9-game SEC schedule, a 9-game SEC schedule and a mandatory Big Ten game, that's just tough. I mean, that's tough for Arkansas, Mississippi State, Kentucky, South Carolina. You kind of go through the list of teams that are trying to get bowl eligible every year. And so, you know, LSU, like the caller before me said, or I know it was you making the point, Ty, that LSU's not in position to, you know, they've been losing 3-4 conference games the last couple of years. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know what direction they'll eventually, but to have 10 of your 12 games accounted for every year just seems like you're going to short some of the teams near the bottom of your standings of some potential wins. And, I mean, there's already the mandatory rule you have to play a Power 5 opponent. I guess it's Power 4 now. But I don't know. I don't mind matching up with the Big Ten every year, but I don't know about the 9-game SEC schedule. I wish they'd keep it at 8.
It seems a bridge too far. Again, Tom Murphy with us here on the Loose Automotive Group Hotline, Whole Hog Sports, and the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, what are we going to call the stadium this fall, man? It sounds like, according to some comments made by Hunter Yurachek, that this deal might get done relatively soon. I know your colleague Christina Long wrote about it in Whole Hog Sports, and I was reading a little bit about it this morning. This was one of those things where I guess they just kept the name this past year in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. They've hired an outside party to maybe get someone to buy this. Looks like a 10-year deal possibility. What do we are we thinking we're going to hear about something in the next month or so before the season begins on August 30th?
I would think that if it's that close that they're going to come up with some kind of a deal, and you'd want it to be on the stadium for this fall. But it's interesting, that the previous Reynolds deal lapsed and it just kind of stayed the same. And we've kept riding Reynolds Razorback Stadium and all our stuff, even though the naming rights were gone. So I guess maybe a little gesture on University of Arkansas's behalf to keep it. I am not sure, but there's certainly some big companies around here who, Walmart and Tyson and J.B. Hunt and all those brands that could certainly pony up the money and have it done.
Yeah, and that's part of we've been talking about the different gaps. I know they're doing the SEC meetings down in Destin right now, but this 9-game schedule could enhance each team in the league's revenue from the TV partners like $4 or $5 million a year. When you start talking about this $23 to $25 million revenue gap with revenue sharing and the additional scholarships, that's kind of how, for Arkansas, you piece it together, right? $5 million there. Maybe, I don't know what the naming rights will be, but man, if you could get $5 million a year for that, what would it be worth? I don't know. That's the way they're going to bridge that gap from a financial standpoint, Tom.
They're going to have to do things just like that to make up the difference in how much is going to go out in revenue sharing. I mean, Hunter Yurchek was pretty, outspoken when we talked to him on the first leg of the One Razorback Roadshow up in Bentonville about how they've had to freeze raises and freeze merit raises and all that kind of stuff. And, it's tough decisions that they had to make to be able to do this. And so anything you can do to ease that, getting naming rights for your stadium and all that kind of stuff, and maybe at some point Arkansas has to bite the bullet and vote for a 9-game conference schedule to bring more revenues in. Even though it hurts your competitiveness, it might be the things they have to do to be financially viable to run with the Joneses in the SEC, so to speak.
My God, what would a 10-win season do for them? That in the perspective of being able to raise ticket prices, increase donations, they need a couple of winning seasons to really get the maximum value financially of what they need out of the football tickets that they're not reaping right now, and the only way you're going to get it is to win consistently.
Yeah, you are, and they're a team to me that you can't afford injury. That they're going to be thinner than most of their SEC compadres. So many issues they got to work out. What the receiving core is going to look like. I have pretty good faith their run game is going to be okay. Between Talon and Braylon Russell and Washington, I think they're going to have a nice punch in the run game, and they think they're going to be a better run blocking team. But so many different things they've got to work out. Their D line is not going to be as deep as some other teams. So, and a challenging schedule to boot. So this is going to be a real crucible type year here in Fayetteville.
All right, Tom, Fayetteville Regional, people lined up already outside of Baum-Walker Stadium, Hogman, 2 o'clock tomorrow. See if they play 2 or 8 on Saturday, then also on Sunday as well. Kind of talking about a little earlier with Mike Rooney and just the setup with Kansas, Creighton, and also North Dakota State this weekend. This team's the best hitting team, and not just the SEC, but in baseball at times this year. Bats have gone cold before. What are you expecting from this baseball team just hitting this weekend? The consistency, do we see it?
Well, I mean, that's the $1 million question, and that's what prevented them from moving on. Hagen Smith has not had good outings he did not have good outings against TCU a couple years ago and then Kansas State last year. And here comes another Big 12 team that, they swept West Virginia on the road to complete the regular season. And they have the same differences between wins and losses. It's just that Kansas played 2 more games than West Virginia, and it came down to percentages on who was the number 1 seed for their tournament. But it was a virtual tie atop the Big 12. So they're hot right now, and I haven't studied real deep into their pitching staff. I'm going to be doing that today, but certainly a dangerous team. And then North Dakota State, plucky, scrappy, all that stuff applies to them, even though they have a 20-32 record. And then Creighton, they're used to winning. They won both the Big East regular and tournament, and have a lot of good talent on their roster. So by no means is this a walkover, but if Arkansas plays near its peak, pitches okay, they're going to have more pitching depth, more high-end velocity arms, and a bigger array of hitters than the other teams, and they should win their own regional.
Tom, is there a player under the radar? Like, it's easy to say Zach Root or Vihiva Loy have to have a big series for Arkansas to advance. Is there a guy that you've looked at and say, man, if they can get a little more out of this dude, they're going to move on to next weekend?
Well, I haven't studied it like that, but I'll say this. Logan Maxwell, once he got through the hamstring, he's been hitting pretty well, and he hits in the 3-hole. And so if he has a good weekend, I think that bodes well. The Aloy brothers, it seems to me like there's been an uptick in strikeouts in recent games the last couple of weeks. Sometimes when they start pressing too hard and, guessing and wanting to hit one out of the park, they wind up with the pitches that they're fishing for. So I would say somebody like Logan Maxwell and then like Iredale, deeper in the lineup. If those two can deliver, then you're going to have some punch, early in the lineup and then kind of deeper, that it's going to help them. And then, of course, Ryder Helfrich's had a really good conference season. So to me, there's so much depth of hitting on this team. If they can get about 4 or 5 different guys hot over the weekend, I don't think anybody can stop them.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the weather doesn't play a factor in the regional this weekend, but I think we're probably wishing in one hand, and we'll see which hand fills up faster, because I think weather is going to be a factor this weekend, Tom.
Oh, my gosh. They have been dealing with that so many weeks in a row now. It feels like, having to schedule doubleheaders and things like that. And I felt so bad for the softball team last weekend that there was so much rain that, they had to move the first one up, and it didn't really rain that day. And I don't know, just felt bad that Courtney Doffel and them and they had some food poisoning with their best pitchers, and the circumstances didn't work out, and they've been denied yet again.
Yeah. Tom, happy birthday, and we'll catch up with you on Tuesday. We'll know the outcome of the regional by then.
All right, man. It sounds like a plan. See y'all.
All right, the
Happy
birthday boy.
buddy.
The birthday boy, Tom Murphy, with us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Y'all hungry? My tummy's starting to rumble a little bit. It's 10:20.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. And how about some chips and salsa for lunch today? We can go to Joe's Grill and Cantina, take a walk down memory lane all day today. The old throwback platters from the Cuckoos days are being brought back. They bring back a different one every Thursday. It's the platters that made them famous. It's the ones that really make you feel like home. So join them today and for lunch and dinner for the classic Cuckoos dishes that the servers will bring to you. And I'm going to tell you, it's that classic flavors with all the combos that you like. It's Joe's Grill and Cantina. Get this delicious reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
All right, I'm going to play this clip, and I want you to tell me who this is. See if you can pick up on it.
This golf course is in just perfect condition, and it's such a fun event with all the best junior golfers out here, and it's so well run with everybody here.
Charlie Woods.
Okay. I didn't know if you would say Tiger. I listened to that for the first time this morning, and it sounds almost identical to his dad. And I feel like I don't sound like my dad. Maybe I do. Maybe it's just I've listened to Dylan. Dylan kind of sounds like you. I've listened to him talk.
A little bit, yeah.
He's starting to. He's in that stage where his voice.
Lucky young man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
got my good looks and my voice. Wow.
I just listened to that and I was like, man, that
genetic lottery.
That's going to be a clone. Is it him and JD here in a couple years battling on the PGA Tour? JD Jr. That'd be kind of cool.
I mean, JD's a little bit older, but
in college, obviously.
They battled in the parent-child, the PNC, a couple times.
Charlie's what, 16 or 17?
Right? 16, I believe. Shot 66. That was that. I saw a blurb on this online. Shot, I think it was a 66 with only 3 pars. Had like 8 birdies, bunch of birdies, a wild schizophrenic round, but one that was the big deal. The AJGA tournaments when I was growing up were always where the best players in the country in our age group played, and Tiger was the guy when I was coming in. I was never good enough to play in those events. Played some junior golf tournaments, but never at that level. But those were the big national events, and when you're winning those, it's a good indicator that you've got a very bright future. Of course, his last name being Woods isn't hurting either.
Yeah, 15 under over the course of the weekend.
Right.
Won by 3 strokes. You hadn't been to Stream Song, have you? Because that's where it was.
I've heard
My
nothing but wonderful things.
Apparently it's awesome. I'd like to. When I saw it was at Stream Song, I was like, that's pretty cool. This is a quote from Tiger Woods back in the day. I thought this was interesting since we're talking about Charlie. Don't force your kids into sports. I never was. To this day, my dad has never asked me to go play golf. I ask him. It's the child's desire to play that matters, not the parent's desire to have the child play. Fun.
That's right.
Keep it fun.
Yep.
I don't think there was any doubt
And,
that Charlie was going to play golf.
Charlie probably, I mean, if you're expecting this guy to grow up, this young man to grow up and be like his father and win 15 majors and dominate the world, not going to happen. But that's what everyone's going to expect. That's the pressure that's going to be on him. And he'll make it to the tour and he'll win some events, would be my guess. But, no one should expect him to be the second coming of Tiger Woods. Maybe in the same bloodline, but I don't think that's going to happen. But, hey, take your kids to play golf. Always fun. And then take him to Andy's Frozen Custards, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. That's a great way to wrap up a round of golf for the kids. Go to Andy's, get their favorite flavors, mix in, I would do the Heath Bar, but you do Butterfinger, you can do Reese's, whatever you like. Doctor said have more fruit, so maybe put some strawberries in there too. You get your favorite frozen concretes there at Andy's Frozen Custards, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, 2 locations in Conway on East Oak and Dave Ward Drive, and then JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock as well. Drive up or walk up or drive through. They're ready to serve you at Andy's Frozen Custards.
Mississippi State might have its new baseball coach. We'll tell you who that is when we come back with your SEC update.
Streaming live from
HitThatLive.com.
Hey, this is Hunter Yurtek, Director of Athletics at the University of Arkansas, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little Chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money. So he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
We're going to get this done. It's just going to take time. Thanks, folks.
This is The Morning Rush.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Do you love cooking and being a part of a great team? Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and I was talking to Linda Newmeyer the other day. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, Newmeyer's Rib Room, and Newmeyer's Whippoorwill are hiring kitchen staff. Stop by any of the 3 restaurants in downtown Fort Smith. I used to work at a pizza place back in the day. Maybe I'd give it a shot. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the Whippoorwill, and Rib Room. Apply today and join the Newmeyer family.
You're hired. Come back tomorrow at noon for training.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mamaw's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
Here's some exciting news for golf enthusiasts. The Golf Nut is thrilled to announce new arrivals for 2025, including Callaway Elite Woods and Irons, the new generation Pro V1 and Pro V1X golf balls, as well as a full range of lab putters, including the latest OZ model. Schedule a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators to elevate your game. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue and experience golfing greatness for over 30 years.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyer's has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyer's and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyer's, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about the toughest there is.
Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally held the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Ramble off the bounce. Caruso knocks it away. Comes up with a steal. Throws it back and gives us Alexander the unselfish play.
Alex Caruso, former Texas A&M Aggie, a part of the Game 5 win for the Oklahoma City Thunder last night, along with Isaiah Joe and Jalen Williams, as they advanced to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2012. Plenty of SEC guys there in action last night, and a few later on tonight as well. Keeping your SEC update going, I mentioned that Mississippi State may have their guy, according to Kendall Rogers of D1 Baseball. Longtime Virginia coach Brian O'Connor has emerged as the frontrunner. Deal's not done yet, but possibility of him landing in Starkville, Mississippi at Dewey Noble looks like, according to Kendall, it could happen. We were wondering about, hey, will Wes Johnson go to the state? He got a deal done. The Georgia Bulldogs. There was other speculation, other coaches, but looks like that the former Virginia coach could land with Mississippi State, depending on what plays out with that. I'm going to be honest, I don't even know where they are in the setup of the NCAA tournament, if they're even involved. I don't remember if they're one of the teams involved, but something to keep an eye on when it comes to baseball coaches in the conference. Otega Owe is back. We know Carter Knox is coming back for another season. Adu Thero is pursuing an NBA career, did not come back to college as of yesterday at 10:59. This is a big get for Kentucky, who, like Arkansas, has a loaded roster this next season. They don't have as many returnees, Tommy, but one of the better players in the SEC back playing for Mark Pope in Big Blue Nation.
Well, and weren't they boasting about their $20 million basketball NIL budget a while back? So that's a lot of gunpowder in your keg there to make sure you keep what you want. So I bet finances played a role in that. So
no question. I'm going to guess that he's making some good money.
Yep.
SEC spring meetings going on at Sandestin. We've talked a little bit about the 8-9 SEC schedule. We got Kevin and Rogers' opinion, a few other texts here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. One of the other points of contention is the transfer portal. Kirby Smart was talking about that a little bit, and just like the setup and everything else. Here's what he said about the transfer portal windows.
Transfer portal, you want it down to one? I don't care if it's one or two, really. I mean, I'd prefer one, but I'm okay with two. What I don't want is one in June. I mean, in April, because I think that's a recipe for disaster, and that's what we're starting to get pushed by some outside conferences that feel strongly that it should be in April. And I'm like, well, what are we doing January, February, March, in April when I try to build my team? My team's not built.
I had not thought about that until he said something. It's 2 right now. It's December, and it's in April. And I know the December one, Tommy, doesn't line up with bowl season, and you've got teams preparing for the college football playoff, amongst other things. But that aspect that we're talking about makes sense from him and his perspective.
Yeah, and again, I think they've got to get a handle on this. They've also got to keep it where there's some sanity with the coaches. December has become too crazy with trying to figure out your bowl setup and your opponent and getting ready for those. Figuring out what your players need to, who's coming, who's going, who's now going to play in your bowl game, who's not. Dealing with early signing period for your high school recruits. I mean, some of this, does it sound to you like the calendar makes sense? The coaches got to figure out a way to help keep some sanity, because that's one thing you're going to also do is drive. And I know these guys are making millions, but we've already seen a guy like Gus Malzahn who said, you know what, I don't want to be a head coach anymore. I'll just go call plays at Florida State. And guys that have made their tens of millions already are going to put up with the headache forever when you make the job even more difficult. I don't feel sorry for guys making $5 to $10 million a year, but I think they've gone past the point of sanity in some of the December scheduling.
Last thing here in your SEC update, Texas, when Crystal Conte, their athletics director, was asked about why they're not playing Ohio State on Sunday, it's because he said, I go to church and fans go to church. Do you think Texas fans go to church?
They need to. They need to ask for a lot of forgiveness. They've got a lot of sin in their life.
I looked at that comment and I just started laughing. I just thought that was funny. They didn't want to play Ohio State at 9 in the Horseshoe. I understand that, but when asked about that, he said that because you do have Labor Day weekend. You have some teams that play that Sunday and that Monday, being that college football has the that weekend to themselves. NFL will start the following week. But I did find that entertaining when he was talking about that in Sandestin. Forgiveness.
Yeah, that's your SEC update. Well, let me tell you about APAC and Standard Materials Group, your number one source for top quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete. Whether you're working on a small residential project or a large-scale commercial job, APAC's got you covered. No job's too big or too small. And if you need advice on how to get the job done or maybe who to turn to, their construction consultant services ensure you're always on the right track. Call 479-587-3300 for all your rock, asphalt, and ready-mix needs. That's APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300.
Mention Adouthiro staying within the NBA draft. So that means you have 3 open roster spots remaining for this basketball team. Amir Brown, the most recent addition. We know Carter Knox is coming back. When you look up and down, you've got like 4 and 5s between Trevin Brazil, Ratal, Pringle, and Malik Ewan. You've got some guys like, obviously DJ is more of a guard. Darius Acuff is more of a guard. Both those guys will play 1. Then Malik Thomas, and I know Sealy played point guard. He played everything in high school, but curious to see where he winds up. Richmond and Knox are more wings in their roles in the setup and situation. Tommy, I'm of the perspective that they probably need to add one more big man. I just always think you can add another front court player with the physicality. I don't know if Cal is going to add more players like Amir Brown, more of the locker room guys, but that is, again, 3 spots remaining. That's going to be how this roster shakes out here in the coming weeks. What they do with is going to be interesting.
And I think it's a safe assumption to say John Calipari wasn't totally taken aback or surprised by the news that Adouthiro let the world know yesterday. My guess is he's had a heavy lean for 4 or 5 days, or maybe longer, maybe a week or so. I don't know why you wait all the way till the deadline or hours before, but that's what he chose to do. And I think in the end, he's probably NBA ready. Arkansas can move on, and now it frees up. I don't know, would that free up 7 figures? Say a 7-figure NIL player, $1 million to $1.5 million. I don't know, but my guess is you'll have north of $1 million that's back in your budget for how you fill these last 3 spots. So be my guess. So hey, if you haven't downloaded the Oaklawn Sports app, do that now. They got a special promotion going on right now. When you're a new customer and you sign up, you get $1,000 or up to $1,000 in bonus bets each of your first 10 days. If your first wager doesn't work out, they'll give you a free wager the next day for up to $100. So you can bet on the NBA Finals. You can bet on hockey as we move closer to the Stanley Cup. You can bet on college baseball's postseason. It's all right there for you with the Oaklawn Sports app. Also, three-leg parlays have a 10% boost when the odds are plus 1,000. Get details on that, and that's for everybody, new and existing customers as well. Bet with a brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
I tried to look this up, and I didn't see it. And maybe you guys just have one on the top of your head at 877-377-6963 on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Has there ever been a pair of high school teammates that have gone on to play in the same NBA team and win a championship? I tried to look it up and I didn't see it.
I don't know. We have to AI that.
It would give me. It would give me the this player won a high school championship, college championship, and then an NBA like Magic and Kareem and Jerry West. I think it was another. There was like 10 or 11 of them, but I couldn't find one. And that could be, again, we're talking about Jalen and Isaiah being the 8th and 9th guy to potentially win the NBA Finals, and for a former Razorback to do so. But I thought that would be I don't know if that's ever been done, to be on the same team. Like, you've had college teammates, Clyde Drexler and Hakeem Olajuwon are the ones that come to mind for me there. But I don't know if that's ever been done, and it could be here in a few weeks.
I'm typing it in now to the AI. Let's see if I get an answer on this. Yes. Reading straight from Chat GPT here. There have been high school teammates who went on to win an NBA championship together, LeBron James and Tristan Thompson. Now, I don't know if it says they're on the same team. Other cases, but not close, but not exact. So that's the only one it gives. This is just what Chat says.
I don't think that's accurate, because Thompson went to Texas, and I don't remember him playing in
high
Ohio.
school teammates, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't remember him playing on the same. Maybe they were like an AAU team or something. But I just think it's a
St. Vincent St. Mary High School, Akron, Ohio.
Maybe he did. Maybe Thompson is.
Thompson transferred in and only played briefly, and he and LeBron James were teammates for a short time during high school prep school circuits.
How about that?
According to Chat GPT.
Think you, Chat GPT. You wanna ask Chat GPT who's going to be the new Arkansas sponsor for Razorback Stadium?
You think Chat would have an answer?
Well, you got to
Ty Richardson Stadium.
It would be Richardson Family Stadium. I would not be as arrogant to put my first name on there. If I ever came into money, I would.
Calling Don Reynolds Eric.
No, it was the foundation. The foundation did.
Arrogant
He
as
was.
Mr. Bud
Wasn't
Walton.
he? Wasn't,
My God.
Wasn't he passed away by then? Wasn't it the foundation?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Oh, hang on. My phone is now speaking to me. Hang on.
We were asking Tom about it. You got Walmart and Tyson logos on there? I mean, is there a chance you have one of them that just say, we want this?
What does it cost?
Center cut? I was reading this in Whole Hog Sports. Your text talked about $3.5 to $4 million a year.
Okay.
That seems
Who would it be? That seems low.
Light.
How many years is the commitment? I'm guessing
10.
5. 10? All right. So $40 million commitment. I would think there's someone in Northwest Arkansas that would, just from an ego standpoint, would turn, but you throw it out so flippantly. $4 million a year, $40 million. It's easy to say it when it's not your money. Who would it benefit? Because you don't spend $40 million and not get something back for it. Walmart makes sense. Now, the power play would be for Amazon to come in and do it, right? That would be the power play.
Apparently, they've hired a third party and they're looking at
Costco Stadium
outside. That would
they wouldn't even let them build a Costco in Ventnor, Washington County. Give it and name the stadium after him. Boy, that would ruffle some feathers.
I'm surprised they let Aldi in Northwest Arkansas.
They don't consider them competition.
Is Costco the? Well,
it's the only
Kroger,
it's the only competitor for Sam's Club.
Kroger doesn't.
They're not in Northwest Arkansas. No. Casey's, maybe I don't know. Who could get the most benefit out of that? They could actually reasonably consider. Now, Tyson, Walmart. There's several Fortune 500s in Northwest Arkansas that would never miss $40 million over 10 years.
Here's the problem. You mentioned that, but aren't you also not trying to tick off your current boosters?
You'd like to make So who could you get that wouldn't be a competitor? J.B. Hunt. Could make it J.B. Hunt Family Stadium.
Tyler Winslow says Casey's. I wouldn't mind saying that.
Then we could get pizza in the stadium.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that.
Hunt would be the right one, and they've done some things, and they're a large enough company that they could do that, and it wouldn't compete with Tyson or Walmart. I don't think that would ruffle any feathers. So yeah, if they could convince the Hunt family that would be a good investment, and the senior officers at the company, I think that would be a good fit.
Ruskin and Zach, Razorback Stadium.
Yeah.
And Sam Pittman and his team walking into Ruskin and Zach.
I don't think they have the funds quite for that.
Oh, man.
I know it's not in the budget here at the radio station, if that's where you're looking. So
pull them from somewhere.
Maybe we would name it Gaston's White River Resort Stadium.
I was setting you up for that.
Gaston's White, that has a ring to it. We could just have the sound of the peaceful White River rolling through the sound system there. John George could come on and he could say 870-431-5202.
He'd steal your line.
He could say it. I'd let him have it. First class time every time. He could. I'm telling you, beautiful pictures on the screens. Gaston's White River Resort Stadium. It's a mouthful, but don't quickly dismiss it. But seriously, if there's no stadium at Gaston's, the theater is the river. It's a theater. It's not a stadium. It's a theater of great scenery, great outdoors, and just beautiful surroundings in the Ozarks. 870-431-5202. 80 private cabins and lodges. Can't wait for my next trip to Gaston's. Call and get yours reserved today. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
I told my wife, I'm sorry I'm putting you through this.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith, or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Do you need closure? On your garage, call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. With an unheard of 15-year spring warranty option, Grit is the team you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Everybody's talking at me.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Take my call. Listen to you guys all the time on my drive. I'm going to have to lean towards Ty here.
I'm tired as a fan being fed a bunch of lies and garbage.
You know, you got this wonderful staff that you have. Great day to be a Razorback, you know. That's my hero. I want to be when I grow up.
I appreciate what you guys do. Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Still getting text in about name suggestions. Alan saying Arvest here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. And Arvest is one of our presenting sponsors for our Fayetteville coverage this weekend, along with shelter insurance agent Chris Dooley, and the Stadium on Razorback will be tomorrow for not just the morning rush, but halftime and also Arkansas game day as well. Fayetteville Regional, I guess I hesitate to say begins tomorrow because for some people, Tommy and Colden's already began. They're already out there. They were out there yesterday, out there the day before. So I think when I say begins, it's an event, postseason baseball. We heard Mike Rooney talking about it earlier, how crazy Baum Walker Stadium is. And for a lot of people that look forward to baseball season every single year, this is what matters the most.
Yep, sure does. And these are why you buy your regular season tickets. So you get a chance to go to the regional and super regional games in your own stadium. Hey, if you're looking for a great way to load up the tackle box for spring and summer fishing, Pradco has it all available at the click of a button. Go to lurenet.com for Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more. But the site also includes exclusive deals and baits you won't find anywhere else to load up your tackle box. And all orders over $35 get free shipping in the U.S. So be sure and treat yourself and your fishing buddies to some tackle box treasures. Check out everything at lurenet.com. That's lurenet.com.
I've got some good news. According to Trey Wallace of Outkick, the College Football Hall of Fame has adjusted its eligibility criteria to lower its winning percentage from 60 to 59.5 to get Mike Leach in.
Fly your flag. Fly your flag. Swing your sword.
Absolutely should. Can't have a College Football Hall of Fame without Mike Leach. And just because of the modern inventions in today's offensive game that are all linked back to him as well.
We'll be there in a month and a half.
Yeah, July.
Yep. Darren McFadden's jersey is there. They got all the helmets up, so we'll be back in the College Football Hall of Fame for SEC Media Days mid-July.
Yeah. Hey, if you haven't gotten your homestead tax credit confirmed yet, do that with the Sebastian County Assessor. If you live in Sebastian County, it can save you $425 on your property taxes. I just got a deal yesterday. My mortgage payment's going up because insurance is going up and taxes have went up and forced that up as well. So why let that money sit there and not go to work for you? Call 479-784-1516. Talk to Zach Johnson and his team. They can help you with your 2024 property taxes. It applies to your home and up to 1 acre of land as well. 479-784-1516. The deadline is tomorrow at the end of the month. Be sure and do that. Go to sebastiancountyar.gov for more details.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on a Thursday edition of The Morning Rush. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Big C coming up here on halftime in just one bit. I know Phil's got a lot of baseball to get to as we get ready for this Fayetteville Regional tomorrow. Arkansas, again, reminder, will be playing at 2 o'clock. 1:30 your Hill, Phil and Bubba on most of these radio stations as they get ready for the weekend ahead. Kansas, Creighton, and North Dakota State, the opponents for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Dave Van Horn speaking with the media here in about 45 minutes from now. We'll get a chance, or 25 minutes from now, we'll get a chance to hear from DBH, his thoughts more. Maybe we'll know a starting pitcher here in a few minutes. So we will keep you updated here on ESPN Arkansas. HitThatLine.com and our Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell's. For Tommy Kraft, Colton Little, Ty Richardson, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. We're back tomorrow live from the Stadium Shop at 9 a.m.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte